Hello everyone, my name is Isaiah and this is bonus topic 2, the mini library. For this project, me and my partner was able to implement a login feature. We can enter in our account's name and then we can enter in our password and it'll show you the correct menu. This account is for a librarian, so it shows us our librarian menu. If we press A, we can enter in a new book. It'll retrieve the ID based on the highest ID in the file mylibrary.txt in order to figure out where to put it. Here we can put in a title such as Awesomeness. We can enter in its author, Jack Black. And the rest of its information will be set to the defaults. The default holder is the library, since added books go straight to the library, and its dates, both its checkout date and its due date, are set to null because it hasn't been checked out. And here it'll give us our prompt whether we can add another book or return to the main menu. I was unable to implement delete book, but I was able to implement checkout book. Here we can enter in a name of the account who wants to check out a book. It'll check how many books that user has printed out and if that user is permitted to check out another book. The cap is set to 3. Next, we can enter in the ID of the book we want to enter. If it is found, it'll give us the details of that book and whether it's been found, such as its ID, its title, its author, where it's being held, its checkout date, and it'll assign it its checkout date, which is the current date, and its due date, which is 30 days in advance. And here we get our prompt. We can again enter it. And now we can hit R to return the book by entering its ID, and then it will search for it. If it's been found, it will again give us our details, but it will also assign the holder back to the library and set the due date and checkout date to null. And here again, we can either try again to return another book or return to the menu. I also implemented 2 additional methods known as user info, which if we press U, will give us the information for all of our users currently registered with the library, their ID, first name, last name, account name, and their password, and what their role is, either B representing borrower and L representing librarian. And L, which fulfills the same role but fulfills the information in library info by giving us all the book IDs, their title, the author, the checkout dates and due dates, and all that stuff. And we can press E to cancel. And that's my contribution to this project.
Hello everyone, my name is Yi-chan and I'm responsible for the UI. So I write a code to read in the my library TSC and user info TSD and pass them into 2 structure, books and user. And so I implement a code that can read in both of them to make a login system for the library, and I also make responsible for the borrower's menu. Alright, so if we run the code, you're gonna see that what is your account name. I'll pull it up right here. So say if my account name is account 1 and I type in the wrong password, it's gonna say wrong password. It's gonna pass us back to asking the name and the password. So when we type in the correct password, it's gonna give us to the user menu. And I actually did implement the librarian menu, but that part is not my teammate's gonna be responsible for it. I keep it blank. And for my part, it's gonna read in this library TST, and there's, as you see, 5 books as said in the example. I could read in more, but we haven't gotten to that part yet. So let's run it again and see. What's your account name? Account 1. Password is. And then for Q, they're gonna ask us what's the author name. And as we see in my library TST, if we look for author 1. Sorry. Oh, I messed it up. Okay, so we look for the author name. It's author 1. And they're gonna give us all the book that has author 1's name, which is book 1 and 2. Right here. So I did not sort the books because in the requirement they say we have to sort the book by the, but I did not do that, so because I don't have enough time to do it. And if we're gonna go back to menu and press S, and what's the book's name? So in here, let's find book 1. And they're gonna give us all the book 1 in the same string. And there's B to go back again. For you, I don't have enough time to code it, but if we want to press in the correct date, like what day is it today? 4/29. So we type in 4/29 2019. And what I did is I check if the date is valid, and this is a valid day. But if we wanna try again, what's the current day? I type in some gibberish day, like maybe this, and it's gonna turn out the day is not valid. And how I do it is I have 2 methods to check it. Sleep year to check if the year is leap, and the valid day to check if the day is valid. And back. And for E, you can exit out normally. In here you can see that if I log in as a librarian, I see a country, and I type in the correct password, then it will bring us to the librarian menu. So in the librarian menu, I haven't done anything. It's my teammates part. But all the buttons supposed to be working, especially the exit button. So talk about code. So as you see, there are certain parts that we cannot finish, especially there's a few bugs on the in the date one that I cannot get rid of no matter what I do. And I haven't do the sorting for all the books that we find out. Also haven't do the date, check the due date method, because I got a bug on the date one when I read in the files. But we did our best with our given times, and there's finals, so there's lots to do. I think we did a really good job, and thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it.